Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Good morning, my friends. Welcome. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare Krishna. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nityananda Gauranga, Shri Krishna, Jesus, Jesus, Srila Prabhupada, Jesus, Jesus, Srila Prabhupada. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Nityananda Gauranga, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Nityananda, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Nityananda, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Advaita Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, oh my Lord Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Krishna, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama.
Thanks for using
Prema Maya Mayi Radha Yugalastam Stakam something like that. 8 verses glorifying the divine couple. Radha is made of pure love for Krishna. Radha, Radha is made from pure love for Krishna. And Hari is made of pure love for Radha. In life or death, Radha and Krishna are my eternal shelter. Radha is made of pure love for Krishna, and Krishna is made of pure love for Radha. Radha, in life or death, Radha and Krishna are my eternal shelter. Mm. Radha is the treasure of Krishna, and Hari is the treasure of Radha. Radha is the treasure. Radha is the treasure of Krishna. Radha is the treasure of Krishna, and Hari is the treasure of Radha. In life or death, Radha and Krishna are my eternal shelter. Radha is the treasure of Krishna. Radha is the treasure of Krishna, and Krishna is the treasure of Radha. Radha pervades the life force of Krishna. Radha pervades the life force of Krishna. Radha pervades the life force of Krishna. And Hari pervades the life force of Radha. And Hari pervades the life force of Radha. Radha pervades the life force of Krishna. And Krishna pervades the life force of Radha. In life or death, Radha and Krishna are my eternal shelter. In life or death, Radha and Krishna are my eternal shelter. Radha is totally melted with Krishna. 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 And Krishna and Hari is totally melted with Radha. And Hari is totally melted with Radha. And Hari is totally melted with Radha. In life or death, Radha and Krishna are my only shelter. Radha is situated in the body of Krishna. Radha is situated in the body of Krishna. Radha is situated in the body of Krishna. And Krishna and Hari is situated in the body of Radha. And Hari is situated in the body. Is situated in the body of Hari. In the body of Radha. Radha is situated in the body of Krishna. Radha is situated in the body of Krishna. Radha is situated in the body of Krishna. And Hari is situated in the body of Radha. Radha is situated in the body of Krishna. And Hari is situated in the body of Radha. In life or death, Radha and Krishna are my life and soul. In life or death, Radha and Krishna are my life and soul and only shelter. Mm. Mm. Radha is fixed in the heart of Krishna. Radha is fixed Radha is fixed in the heart of Krishna. Radha is fixed in the heart of Krishna. And Krishna is fixed in the heart of Radha. And Krishna is fixed in the heart of Radha. Radha is fixed in the heart of Krishna. And Krishna is fixed in the heart of Radha. In life or death, Radha and Krishna are my only shelter. In life or death, Radha and Krishna are my only shelter. In life or death, Radha and Krishna are my only shelter. Radha wears a cloth of blue, and Hari wears a cloth of yellow. Radha wears a cloth of blue, and Hari wears a cloth of yellow. Radha is the mistress of Vrindavan. Radha is the mistress of Vrindavan, and Krishna is the master of Vrindavan. Krishna is the mistress of Vrindavan, is the mistress of Vrindavan, and Krishna is the master of Vrindavan. Mistress meaning is a woman who has power, authority, or ownership. Ah, there you go. That's her. That's Radha. Power, authority, and ownership over Krishna. Radha is the mistress of Vrindavan, and Krishna is the master of Vrindavan. Oops. Oh, that's it. Thank you, Jiva. Lochandas Thakur, Chaitanya Mangal. Smiling and gazing at her son's face, Lord Vishvambara, Sachi sweetly said, "Listen, listen, O Vishvambara, my golden son. Listen, listen, Vishvambara, my golden son. Listen, 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 O Vishvambara, my golden son." Vallabhacharya's daughter is very beautiful. Vallabhacharya's daughter is very beautiful, is very wonderful. In my heart, I know it is right for you to marry her. How fortunate I am to have her as my daughter-in-law. Think about it. Please accept this wonderful opportunity. Think about it. Please accept this wonderful opportunity. Please gather the appropriate things so everything will be rightly done. Hearing his mother's words, Lord Vishwambara Roy gathered all the appropriate things. Everything was right. A very learned astrologer was called, and he marked the auspicious moment for the wedding. On that auspicious day, at that auspicious time, the Brahmanas elegantly dressed for the occasion came. All the villages of Nadia were filled with bliss. The ocean of ecstatic spiritual love arose. Everyone forgot himself. Sachi and the fortunate married ladies made all the auspicious arrangements. In this way, everything was wonderful in the Lord's Adivesh ceremony. In the four directions, Brahmas chanted the Vedas. In the four directions, the Brahmas chanted the Vedas. Conch shells and mridangas were sounded. Everything was marked with auspiciousness. Everything was marked with auspiciousness. The directions were decorated with lamps, flags, and flower garlands. Scented and fragrances, sandal paste, and flower garlands. The place was charming. In this way, all the Brahmins performed. In this way, all the Brahmins performed the Lord's Adivesh ceremony. Lord Gore's form was glorious. Lord Gore's form. Lord Gore's. Lord Gore's form was glorious. Lord Gore's form was glorious. Like like 10 million Kamadeves. Lord Gore's form was glorious, like 10 million Kamadeves. Uh, Lord Gore's limbs glistened with great splendor. Lord, Lord, Lord Gore's limbs, Lord Gore's limbs glistened with great splendor. Gazing at him, the Brahmins became filled with wonder. Gazing at him, the Brahmanas became filled with wonder. To the Brahmanas he gave fragrances, sandalwood paste, and flower garlands. When he gave them glorious betel nuts, they were very pleased. Vallabhacharya arranged for the bride's Adivesh ceremony. That very auspicious ritual was performed by the best of Brahmins. Fragrant scents, garlands, and sandal were exchanged. In the Adivesh ceremony, Lord Gore was decorated with jewels of sons-in-law. Like was decorated like the jewel of sons-in-law. Oh, like the jewel-like son-in-law. In this way, Adivesh and the night both came to an end, saying, "Now we will go and collect Ganga water." The girls were filled with bliss. Now we will go and collect Ganga water. The girls were filled with bliss. Making waves of music, the instruments sounded in unison. Making waves of music, the instruments were uh, sounded in unison. The saintly ladies ended the Adivesh ceremony, tossed by the nectar waves of Lord Gora's wedding. The young girls of Nadia became wild with bliss. The young girls of Nadia became wild with bliss. Walking in group after group, the Brahmana girls, were like groups of moons decorating the earth. Their eyes were like doe eyes. Their walking was like elephants' graceful steps. The splendors of their limbs defeated Kamadeva. Their hair, garments, and ornaments were peerless. Their hair, garments, and ornaments were peerless. They could conquer the most powerful sages' hearts. They smiled and laughed, and they glistened like lightning. Their words were nectar. Their words were nectar. They laughed and joked, and walking along, they nodded and nodded with the desire to sleep. With sweet words, they chanted Lord Gauranga's glories. With sweet words, they chanted Lord Gauranga's glories. With sweet words, they chanted Lord Gauranga's glories. Their limbs splendid like Kamadeva trembled. Their limbs like Kamadeva. Their limbs splendid like Kamadeva trembled. um, uh, uh, waves of pearls decorated their noses and garments. Pearls like a host of stars fallen to the earth during the reddish sunrise. Waves of pearls decorated their noses and garments. Waves of pearls decorated their noses and garments. Pearls like hosts of stars fallen to earth during the reddish sunrise. These saintly girls went to Sachi's home. Sachi gave them gifts of fragrances, sandal, and betel nuts. The girls went to collect Ganga water. House after house they flooded with the nectar of auspicious bliss. Their faces like moons lighting up the night. Their faces like moons. Their faces like moons lighting up the night. With their sweet voices, the girls sang songs praising Lord Gaura's pastimes. With sweet voices, the girls sang songs praising Lord Gaura's pastimes. They sang, whoever went first sang songs of Lord Gaura's pastimes. Thus they went to collect Ganga water. Their hearts were all filled with bliss. Who amongst them had the power to remain calm and peaceful? Some wore glorious silk garments, and others wore garments of yellow. As they walked, they fanned Lord Gaura's glorious limbs. As they walked, they fanned Lord Gaura's glorious limbs. Placing Sachi in front, they walked behind her. They waited for Lord Gaura. They tried to get close to him on the pretext of offering him fragrances, sandal, and flower garlands. They touched Lord Gaura's lips. Finally, they married. Finally, they met the married ladies, filled with the nectar of wonderful bliss. They all performed. They all performed the ritual of collecting Ganga water. In this way, Lochan Das sings the glories of Lord Gaura. In this way, the night blissfully turned into dawn. With happy hearts, everyone performed these rituals. The rituals of bathing and giving gifts were rightly done, and the demigods and pitas were worshipped. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Bluetooth connected. Thanks for using.
Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Ram. Good morning, everybody. Hey. Who is Hari? Hari is a name for Krishna. Hari, H-A-R-I, H-A-R-E is Radha. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Let's see. Oops. Krishna, 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 Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Okay. See. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Sri Bhakti Sandarbha. So check this out. Let's try another one here. Can we do this one? Can we do this one? Krishna Sandarbha. Let's check this out. By Jiva Goswami. In the previous three Sandarbhas, the conception of God as the Supreme Person, full of all powers and opulences, is proved to be the ultimate phase of the Absolute Truth. Superior to every other conception of God, this essay is written to give a specific description of that Supreme Personality of Godhead. By the word Nirdana, it is intended that Bhagavan is the ultimate feature of the Absolute Truth. Learned transcendentalists who know the Absolute Truth call this non-dual substance Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. These three features of the Absolute Truth are described in the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. The following verse describes the Lord's Brahman feature. Actually, we read some of this. Let's go deeper here. Okay. Yeah, we read some. It's funny I came up to this one. Formerly, you said that the absolute, that without the although the absolute truth is one, it is manifested in three features. What are the qualities of these features, Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan? Thinking that this question might arise in the minds of Sanak and other sages, Sutta Goswami said in Srimad Bhagavatam, I think I'll go to something else. It's too technical right now. So where is everybody? How come we got nobody else up here? Come on, it's supposed to be a rasa dance, you know. Get some people coming up here. How you learn about the spiritual world, you have to have interactions. You just want to be like a tree or something and just see what's going on. You need some other participants too. Hare Krishna. Yeah, let's try maybe Srimad Bhagavatam. Chaitanya Charitamrita. Chapter 2. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I offer my respectful obeisances to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by whose mercy even an ignorant child can swim across the ocean of conclusions about the ultimate truth, which is full of the crocodiles of various theories. O my merciful Lord Chaitanya, may the nectarian Ganges water of your transcendental activities flow on the surface of my desert-like tongue. Beautifying these waters are the lotus flowers of singing, dancing, and loud chanting of Krishna's holy name, which are the pleasure abodes of unalloyed devotees. These devotees are compared to swans, ducks, and bees. The river's flowing produces a melodious sound that gladdens their ears. All glories to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Sri Nityananda. All glories to Advaita Chandra, and all glories to all the devotees of Lord Gauranga. Let me describe the meaning of the third verse. It is an auspicious vibration that describes the absolute truth. What the Upanishads describe as the impersonal Brahman is but the effulgence of his body. I keep coming up to this stuff. I wonder why. Okay, we got somebody here. All right, good. All right, there she is. So, read us something here. I don't know, I can't feel anybody. Just want to kick back. Need somebody else to do the work. Yeah, there you go. Read something there. There we go. Finally, there we go. We got somebody. Hey there, Shama Sundari. How's it going over there? How are you doing?
It's okay.
Give us a report.
Hmm. I work a lot, almost every day. So I teach also more yoga, so I'm happy. Um, yeah, and I spend a lot of time with Krishna, and I'm amazed that he's with me, although I'm so easy. So every time when I'm not doing something, when I go somewhere, or when I, move from point A to B, for example, from my home to work, then I chant, and this all your wisdom, this chanting and my remembrance, this it's happening in me, and I feel like it gives me fuel and strength. Yesterday, I also had after my yoga classes, I had a conversation with my student, and I met him 2 months ago, and he was completely depressive since years. And I was talking with him about Krishna and about Chaitanya and about you and about how it transformed my life. And every time when we meet, he had some questions, and I was just talking about this. And he went for 2 weeks for Tenerife for some yoga retreat, and he came and he said, Olympia, I have to talk to you. I found God. And we spent yesterday's many hours to talk about God and how he experienced it. And it was
Wow.
it was more like he was talking about his experience. They were all beautiful, and he completely changed, his eyes are just alive and bliss, and he's saying like, oh my God, I never want to do this stuff anymore because it feels like more to explore. I just want to make this connection stronger and so on. Mm, uh, but he went through this energetic way of Kundalini stuff, which I understand because I also practicing more or less this stuff because this, it's parts of yoga. So I know it works. I know it makes you light. Know that it makes mind sharp, and then it's everything better. But I didn't correct him, but I told him all the time how I perceive, how is how attractive is this ultimate personal form. So so we had this long discussion. It was really beautiful. um yeah, and at the end I just saw that, okay, if somebody has not this knowledge and is not in association, then it's really hard to understand, like this.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
main thing is that he heard from me about God before, and then he found his own connection, and he really talked to me how he talks to God and how he plays with him and how God comes to him in this funny way. He was asking me, he's also funny, right? And I was saying, yeah, he's the funniest guy in the world. And so at the end, I was just talking about how it manifests in my life, how I rest, how I'm protected, how I'm loved no matter what, I was also talking how I charge myself here. And this talking about him, about this experience, we were like on drugs, we were like on high, it was like Krishna was just sitting between us, and there were
Yeah.
4 people who were happy,
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like doing something and I feel his presence, and I'm asking like, whoa, it's like too much, it's like, whoa, it's like I didn't do anything, okay?
Uh-huh.
From where did you came?
Yeah. You
From
gotta
where
you
did you
gotta earn
come?
you gotta earn him.
Mm, yeah. So I'm very busy. I'm working a lot, and I'm learning a lot too. For not working a lot, I hope soon.
Yeah.
So it's like a spiral, but I'm not suffering or something like this. I'm very focused, and like I said, every free time I rest in God. I feel not affected by this world, by the zombies. It's like I don't judge anything. I don't look faults. I have my way to understand and to be between people. But sometimes, I don't know, I don't do anything. I'm just biking, and then I observe people and I just see zombies, you know. It's like very often, very often, very often, it's not even, they don't look not human, you know. The eyes are gray. It's like autopilot. It's and it's shown to me, you know, in very caricatural way. It's
Yeah.
very in very strange way.
Hmm.
Or
Yeah.
sometimes when I am in meditation and I'm walking and I'm talking with Krishna, and then I look at world around me and I ask myself, is it even real? You know, what I'm doing, is it even real? I need to have these questions. You know, I'm very busy. I am in many places with many people, so I don't want to be affected. And then when I ask this question, this world around me becomes this shape, this really artificial shape. You know, I feel like Sims.
Hmm. Hmm.
I feel like this world is really fake.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's from my perception, it's like really, really fake. You understand me?
Yeah. 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 Well, yeah. People are designing it with their yeah. It's they're listening to these people that are designing things on the level of Maya, material Maya. So it is. It's kind of a fake construct. It's mental construct, mental mind. And now they're doing with these things. People are just getting, they're getting poisoned, and they're getting becoming like. I just noticed too when I walk down the street, people are looking like they're zoned out or something. Not everybody, but a lot of people that are, especially the ones with the mask, just kind of going around, just yeah, yeah. Anyway, strange time. Yeah.
Yeah, but when it comes to design, we are doing this also all the time. I started to work 2 months ago, and
Mm-hmm.
my chef, my boss, was really. I heard a lot about him, and he really made us a lot of stress, you know. And then once I just came to from work and I meditate and I just thought, okay, how I want to perceive him, you know, how I want that it's for me. And this whole situation just changed. This human changed.
Mm-hmm.
Since 3 weeks, he behaved like my best friend. He doesn't
Wow.
disturb me when I'm at
Mm-hmm.
work. I'm alone. I got my respect. I got my stillness. You know, I don't. He doesn't disturb me anymore.
Yeah, actually devotional service counteracts those miseries, threefold miseries. That's one of them. Miseries of other living beings. They don't bother you so much, because you don't react, don't judge them, stuff like that. So it doesn't cause any reaction. You neutralize that. Yeah. So,
Yeah, I notice when we put attention somewhere, then we connect with this object, and then
mm,
that's why it's disturbing. But when we are
yeah,
focused on our inside, on chanting,
yeah,
on getting rid of the tensions, then we are really like not seen, not visible.
yeah. Well, that's a secret is being Krishna. Like chanting is a good way. It's just you're in Krishna, and then the devotion is awakening, so it brings you in, draws you into Krishna. The bhakti draws you into the Lord's name, and then that name is in you. You feel in your heart, just like I read in the poem. You know, Radha's in Krishna, and Krishna's in Radha's heart.
Yeah.
Krishna's in Radha's in Krishna, and Krishna's in Radha's heart. Yeah. Yeah, that's the secret, it's a spiritual object, and that's where that's enlightenment. That's where it's going, and that's where real happiness is. That's how you neutralize everything in the world, all this miseries here. People are they're totally their focus is meditating on material objects, and they're miserable. That's the thing. It causes misery. Meditate that. They don't know any better. They don't know about this. They don't know the power of the word, power of focusing on a spiritual object, God, and they don't, because it's outside of their range of understanding and faith. again, that's why you got to connect with real devotees, who are got this knack.
Ah, you know, Krishna is handling me like always soft, but the lessons are there, and it amazes me how he shows me also this detachment paths.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah,
all the time there is something to detach, and it's amazing. It
yeah,
shows every time. Okay, the only person who you really can trust, who really understand you,
yeah,
it's me.
yeah, 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 yeah. It's yeah, yeah. It's and you got to be. You have to feel that. It's like you got to feel this devotional communion. It's just. It's the greatest uh, realization of life, I guess. It's this greatest a way of lifestyle. Just communing. Just mixing with the Lord. It's like always having a friend. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Anyway, that's what
And
it's all
how are
about.
you?
How am I? How am I? What do you think?
I want to hear it.
I'm good when I'm in Krishna and Krishna is in me.
Mm.
Hey, where'd you go there? What happened to her? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, everything is good. Just being in Krishna and Krishna being inside. Yeah. Uh, so you want to read? I guess I lost my reader. You have something to read?
Mhm. Yes, I can grab something. What can I read? I have Prabhupada's book and Veda Base.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Read whatever you want. Whatever sounds good. I wonder why River went off.
She wrote on the chat that she have toothache und headache und toothache, and she has to
Oh.
come off.
Oh. Okay. Toothache and headache. Ooh. Okay.
What about Srimad Bhagavatam?
Good. Go for it.
Mm.
So we have a question. Why don't you answer it? It says, "What is the rasa dance?" What's your idea of the rasa dance?
Mm. Mm. I think it's this dance. It is exactly what we are experiencing here in the Sangha, that everybody has a awake relationship with Supreme God, and everybody can experience his own relationship. That's why I said that the information, what I get from Krishna, from my process, from my purification, from my detachment, I end up, I'm doing drama, then I feel like, okay, some parasite come out of me, and then
Mm,
come realization, he's the only person who can understand me,
mm,
and who can really who I can trust, because I can like your relationship with God. I can admire your devotion. I can profit from your devotion. But I cannot understand how you experience this relationship. Only you can feel from your individual senses. So this is your
Right.
dance. This is how
Yeah.
I understand. And I see how devotees describes, and I really love it, and I admire. But I also love my relationship, and it's very hard to explain it. It's my
Yeah.
individual dance.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what it is, man. Yeah. Yeah, people see this. Yeah, it's a dance of rasa. Rasa is it's our taste, our relish of relationship. Isn't that way? Everything is about relish. Even food. What is your relationship with food? Eating something. There's a rasa. There's a. It's limited, but it's there, and and so that's with God too, and it's just more exquisite. It's more subtle and more wonderful. And that's why it produces ecstatic feelings, ecstatic happiness. But it's just that's why in devotees that can taste transcendental rasa, the sense enjoyment is there, but it's less significant. Everything is less significant. This becomes the primary thing. Everything recedes in the background, and this becomes more, because the other is all it's all mental constructs in the world, and constructs of the modes of nature, the body, temporary. I mean, you got something eternal that's going to last forever. That becomes more priority. Then go ahead. What?
I have very often and often, more often, these talks with people.
Yeah.
I meet really, really advanced souls who they have no background, Vaishnava
Uh-huh.
background, but they are
Mhm.
just super
Yeah.
conscious, super radiant. And I have these talks more often with them, and they are like really, they protect their perceive. They say like, okay, but I can achieve for example, I can achieve ecstasy when I'm eating, I can achieve ecstasy when I'm doing this and this and this. And I'm
Mhm.
saying like, I'm not saying that this is something bad or good, or less, or you don't experience. I know what you experience is awesome, it's beautiful, it tastes like orgasm and everything. But when you come to God, like to the person, it just tastes, nothing tastes like this. And I'm not saying, okay, it's good or bad, but what you experience from material senses. And I just want name it, and understand it, that there is also object who is spiritual and who can just transform your life, and you don't have to purify yourself, because once he enter, he
Mhm.
does this for you.
Yeah.
um yeah, so
Yeah. See, people are doing it by discipline and by techniques, and this is the gets to be the easier way. It's an all-in-one solution. People don't. They're trying to do everything kind of independently, but Krishna and worship, devotional service is like an all-in-one solution. It tackles you get the benefits of everything too. I notice everything comes into your life just kind of automatically. Everything that people are trying really hard for, trying for peace, and trying meditations and to get peace, and to overcome this and that. Everything's harder. This is so easy. And it becomes natural, because especially once it kicks in, it becomes a natural uh, um, development. Just like very easy. You just engage, and then it just becomes like breathing. And it's spiritual. you know and then everything becomes easy, and you look at people and they're toughing it out, and everything's much more difficult, and it's a different kind of result. It's a lot of times still material. I see people encased. I see like the teachers of the world. they're encased in their emotions, their material emotions, and their mind still. They can't. They're trying so many ways to get above it. Can't do it. And it's always a hard process, difficult. They got to do difficult meditations, and they're still. It's like, and they're still they're encased in the material, emotional level and the mental level, the mind. See, and the real party's outside of that. You got to transcend this. That's why the only solution here to what's going on now is you have to transcend it. You have to, you have to be in the rapture. All that stuff they talk about, the rapture coming. It's all about This is we've got to do this. We got to get into this stage of rapture, living in rapture with God, with the transcendental Lord. How else can you tolerate something this stuff that's coming now, and even now, people are suiciding out a lot now. They're on antidepressants, all kinds of weird things. They're just drinking, drunk, getting drunk. Alcohol's on a big rise, drugs, because they get, it's hard to tolerate this. But this is the way, transcending it. Yeah. Oh, thoughtful girl. Thoughtful girl.
Yeah, I was also like suffering and wondering and trying to explain what is going on. But I noticed, we were talking about this. I noticed, first of all, this is impossible. Second of all, those people, they are just following. They just don't know what they do. They just follow. I was talking to so many people, and I recognized, okay, it's not their thoughts. It's not their realization. It's not their choice. They are just so superficial. They don't have contact. They don't have access to their um, to their self, to their spiritual senses. They cannot, they cannot. So to help myself and to get out of this, suffering and frustration, I understood like this material world, Kali Yuga, Satya Yuga, whatever, it will be always here. I cannot do anything about this. This qualities. It must be there. This is this matrix or whatever. It has to be there. What I can do, I can only go inward and shine my lights and work with God and be myself. I don't give a fuck about all this nonsense, And I found my way to talk with people, to be above my ego, to not be fear, to talk about how I see this. And this is very helpful, but I don't suffer anymore for people because it's like they don't have access, they are stuck, and they do this with pleasure. They follow, and I think they will stay here. It's like recycling, And then, of course, it's sad situation, but this is this world. I cannot say it's paradise when it's shit. So I discovered that this is more beneficial to focus on other stuff, on own creation, like what I want to see, with whom I want to be. Okay?
Yeah.
And it works. And I feel very
Yeah.
supported in this, and slowly stuff changing. I do my duties, and I know that results it's for Krishna. And of course, I want to change my situation. I don't have, will or pleasure to work in this matrix job, to spend so many hours. It's crazy. 30 hours per week, you just do something what I have to dive inward. I have to be focused. I have to have solid mindset, I have to be myself. I have to not to judge, to not put my attention with this material object. I have to be strong, remember. I have to. And I want to change it. And I see this every day, but I know that Krishna will do this for me. But I have to tune in. I have to believe and trust and just do my stuff. But I don't suffer anymore because, so many nonsense is happening. Camps here, camps there. This coming out that these all numbers are fake or not clear. But even though people don't see, so I just don't give a fuck anymore about this. And I also don't fear. I think Krishna will organize something for his devotees, for sincere people, for those people who should awake. It's gonna be awesome. It is awesome, actually. I mean, I learned a lot about world and people and myself during this crisis. I mean, it's happening because of him also. Many people awoke because of this.
Yeah. It's part of the. Yeah, it's what's happening. Okay, read Srimad Bhagavatam now.
I will read. What I will read? Chapter 3. The Lord's pastimes out of Vrindavana. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Where are you? All glories to you, Guru Maharaj, that you are so cute and you are doing this over and over and over and over again. And thank you that no matter what I do, I can always make my Facebook on and you are there in all times. And morning, evenings. Thank you for that.
I'm an addict. What can I say?
Thank you that I can benefit from it. I really, really oft think about your wisdom when I'm outside between zombies.
They're everywhere now.
All glories to you. Translation. Sri Uddhava said, thereafter Lord Krishna went to Mathura city with Sri Baladeva, and to please their parents, they dragged Kamsa, the leader of public enemies, down from his throne and killed him, pulling him along the ground with great strength. Should I also read the purport or only translations?
What do you want? You can read it, and if it gets too vitey or so too technical, I kind of scan it a little bit, and if it grabs me.
The Lord learned all the Vedas with their different branches simply by hearing them once from his teacher Sandipani Muni, whom he rewarded by bringing back his dead son from the region of Yamaloka. Purport. No one but Supreme Lord can become well versed in all the branches of Vedic wisdom simply by hearing once from his teacher. Nor can anyone bring a dead body back to life after the soul has already gone to the region of Yamaraja. But Lord Krishna ventured to the planet of Yamaloka and found the dead son of his teacher and brought him back to his father as a reward for the instructions received. The Lord is constitutionally well versed in all the Vedas, and yet to teach by example that everyone must go to learn the Vedas from an authorized teacher and must satisfy the teacher by service and reward, he himself adopted this system. The Lord offered his services to his teacher, Sandipani Muni, and the Muni, knowing the power of the Lord, asked something which was impossible to be done by anyone else. The teacher asked that his beloved son who had died be brought back to him, and the Lord fulfilled the request. The Lord is not, therefore, an ingrate to anyone who renders him some sort of service. The devotees of the Lord, who always engage in his loving service and are never to be disappointed in the progressive march of devotional service.
It's so funny when I hear these things. It's just I hear these like deeper innuendos. It's just it's like so Krishna feels indebted to his guru, right? Because he heard the Vedas from him. And it's just kind of like he's like in our own hearts too. And
Mm,
he's listening as we're chanting the Vedas and everything. And that's why he does stuff for us. He's like, well, he reciprocates. He helps us. He does all these things because we're helping him. It's kind of a transcendental business affair. Aha. Ooh, look at that.
yes,
I heard
please.
the smack. Heard it go smack. Yeah. Is it like a transcendental business affair? It's like, hey, man, you know, you wash me, I'll wash you. Wash one hand, washes the other, and
Seriously.
yeah, it's really amazing. And so you see that played out in the external pastimes. But when I hear that, I go internal. I just like, oh yeah, that's how it works. Yeah, I'm reciting. See, when you really get purified, you see that it's the Lord who is the supreme enjoyer, just like you read in the book. It's like now you realize it. Oh yeah, I see how that works. You see
Oh
how it
my God.
works. It's like yeah, yeah. Okay, so when I'm reading, I'm actually doing like they're showing in the external pastimes Krishna's hearing, and he's realizing it immediately. I said, yeah, that's why devotees become great scholars. But not in the material one. You don't have to remember every little word, and you know, uh, you have to. The essence is realized because Krishna is in your heart, and you're reciting to him, and so you understand the essence. See the essence, and that's what Krishna relishes: the essence of everything. Right? And so you got that going in your heart, and yeah, and that's just how it is. And so that Krishna shows how he works. His nature is like that. Oh yeah, wow! I'm so indebted to my devotee. The devotee is helping me grow inside his own heart, and he's my friend now. And I really want friendship with my devotee. I don't want to just be like him, ignoring me all the time, and then being cursed because you're living without God. When you live without God, you're living in a curse. That's just the truth. It's just the way it is. Even the name God gives some kind of connection and solace to a soul. Um, and so people that are living in material objects are so miserable and becoming more and more, like distant from truth and reality. That's why they look like zombies. That's what zombies look like when they're meditating on earth. It's just you become zombified, because everything is material. Your whole life is thinking about material bodies and objects, and that absorption just makes you more restless and everything because the modes, they're just running your life. That's the matrix. The matrix are these modes of nature causing you, forcing you to act, and in the modes, it's all material energies, material pushings, and then people that are servants, they're like these guys that were in the matrix. They were part of the machine, part of the AI type thing. It becomes more and more like that. Um, Mental constructs and even emotions are taken out of it now, or emotions, just some real low level emotions are being used now. Fear and anxiety, you know, get people, and then the control, and then control by the people can't think, stuff like that. So it's the the only real way out is transcendence, because I see this. I see people trying to speculate their way out, teachers and all of that, and it's very slow. And this is quick. This you just meet the disciplic line, and get all this information that nobody has. People in the New Age don't have. Those people that you met that are in higher consciousness, they also don't have the extent of this kind of knowledge. See? So, yeah, and this information and this understanding, and then to when they start applying devotional service, then they get the experience of this, and that's why it's endless to talk about it and discuss it, because it's so beautiful, it's so amazing, it's so important information on a knowledge level and an understanding level. I just can't say enough about it. Go ahead there. Yeah.
Attracted by the beauty and fortune of Rukmini, the daughter of King Bhismaka, many great princes and kings assembled to marry her. But Lord Krishna, stepping over the other hopeful candidates, carried her away as his own share, as Garuda carried away nectar.
Yeah, you see, that's again, her desire for Krishna got her out of that situation, having to be subjected to mundane authorities of like a husband, a mundane. And isn't that the same thing? We all have husbands. Everybody's like a woman, actually. And the husbands are our authorities here, the government. You see, people, we're meant to be controlled. And so what is controlling us? I mean, people think control is a bad thing or something, and it is in this world. But what are you going to do when people don't understand? They don't have this knowledge of how to be controlled by bhakti, how to be controlled by the name of God, inspired by the name. They don't understand how to do that. That control it turns into what is freedom. And we're free in that. See, and we're enslaved in this world like this, and people don't know this. They don't know that they're enslaved by the government. And you wonder, once you get into the higher consciousness, even if you don't even have this, but you have some higher consciousness, that's why they see this. It's kind of the demigod level. They see what's going on. They say, why are you letting yourself be enslaved by people that are don't have your welfare? They don't have your back. They're actually trying to do something against you. They're hypocritically doing this whole thing. They're lying. They don't want you to be safe. They want to kill you. Why are you submitting to that authority? But that's just how we are built. People don't have that knowledge that we're built to accept authority. They just do it. But that authority, because they don't have any alternative. They comply. Well, we just used to complying, and so when you comply with the world as it is now, you become less and less intelligent. See, so that's intelligence increases with the higher modes that we associate with. And so the ultimate is transcendence, man. Here there's full knowledge in this. That's why Krishna is full in everything. He's full in knowledge. And we become full in real knowledge by taking shelter of the transcendental Lord. We know how to do that. See? We become full. He's full in happiness, Ananda. He's full of Ananda. See? And we become full of that Ananda too. The world doesn't know this. They need to hear topics like, can you imagine how you would have an expansion in your understanding? Wow, I never heard this before. Of course not. I haven't either before this. That's why Prabhupada was writing these books, because they're so important, for the development of mankind's consciousness, for everybody. Otherwise people are just, they're like eating themselves, killing themselves. The elites are killing themselves by killing others. They don't know that. They're limiting themselves by limiting others. Everybody, they're engaged in the Lord's Maya. It's like a merry-go-round. Isn't it nice to get off of that? So anyway, chanting is a good way to engage people. into, even by hearing that name, because they don't want to listen to this. They can't. They're not purified. Look at it. We can't even get these devoted Vaishnavas. They haven't transcended the material world. They can't even come over and listen to beings who have transcended. Okay? So they have to just hear and hear, and the vibration, and gradually they start to wake up. You know, go ahead there, read on.
By subduing 7 bulls whose noses were not pierced, the Lord achieved the hand of Princess Nagnijiti in the open competition to select her bridegroom. Although the Lord was victorious.
Bridegroom.
Yes. What is it? I think I know.
Bridegroom. Yeah, that.
Okay. Although the Lord was victorious, his competitors asked the hand of the princess, and thus there was a fight. Well equipped with weapons, the Lord killed or wounded all of them, but he was not hurt himself.
Yeah, I mean, again, see, this is the Lord's power, and that starts to exercise itself over in our lives. Uh, that power of the Lord starts to work in our lives like that. He starts to overcome all these bulls, all these bullshitters, the bullshitters, the liars, the hypocrites. That's the Maya. The Lord overcomes all that Maya, all that ignorance. Very powerful stuff. See? So because why? We're surrendered to that Lord. That's what he does. That's Vrindavan. The devotees in Vrindavan, they just surrender to Krishna and he takes care of it. He kills all the demons in our lives. He gives us real knowledge. He gives us everything. Purification, inspiration, a mission in life. Can you imagine, a mission? And when you serve devotees, see, that's the service. You serve the devotee. Now you start to get involved in the mission of life. And you get the great privilege. People here, when you come here, you get the great privilege of serving an empowered guru that's got an order from Mahapurusha, man. You don't know how lucky you are. I don't know how lucky I am. I mean, I'm lucky to get such an order and just to do this, and whoever comes on board, we're all together. What is the difference between like the goddess of fortune and her maidservants? They're all beautiful. They're all connected, and they're all empowered, and they all work together. See, this is the big mistake a lot of those who are not purified they make. They leave this association. It's a great privilege to be part of this team. This team, none of us can do this alone. First of all, we need Radha and Krishna who are here, and Lord Chaitanya who are here. We need Prabhupada and the line that are really here because we're in sync with them. They're not in sync with them. They're not. This ISKCON is not in sync with the real disciplic line because it's a fake thing now. They don't know these books. They need to come in the real line. See? The real line is empowered line. It's in one of truth and not speculation. It's not 50,000 changes in Prabhupada's books. What do you think that leads people? Changing things when you're not qualified to do, to even talk about these things. So the people need to, in religion, if they want to transcend religion, they're going to have to come here. I don't have seen, there is no place, nothing in Vaishnavism where I've seen people transcend religion, no matter how much they're boasting. Oh, our gurus are so fantastic. It's so great and everything, but they still in religion, man. They still speculate, and they are, oh man, do they emphasize the rules? Where is the inspiration by being in that transcendental law? Where's the show of the power of God, man? Where's the show of those pastimes being in this world? Subduing ignorance and stupidity and religion, subduing religious speculations and all that. Where's the power of ecstatic devotion and ananda? See, only in real devotees who have the real shelter of that Lord, you see the power of God. Otherwise, it's just a storybook. Oh yeah, very nice. You're reading this thing, he subdued the bulls and everything, but you never see any of that subduing the bulls of bullshitters in your life and these hypocritical gurus. who are bullshitting the world, bullshitting their disciples, thinking they can be delivered by them. See, where are those bulls being subdued? Well, from those who have the real shelter of Krishna. He just comes right in and takes his share, and we're that. We're that the one the what do you call the wife he kidnaps. He takes us and keeps us under his shelter because we want that. I don't want to be under the shelter of these bullshitters, do you? See, this is the thing. The world, unless they have this information and this connection and this inspiration and hear from a bona fide source, they are going to listen to the unbona fide. Well, it's bona fide because that's all they can understand. And therefore, look at, they got the mask on. They walk around like a zombie apocalypse trip. They can't even think about, like, is this good for me or bad for me? Their critical thinking is stunted. So Maya is tough. Maya is a murderer. Maya is doesn't have your back, and that's the lesson in life. And what can be done? People will go that route until they're ready to say, "Lord, please save me, man," and stop becoming atheists. And I go all the way in religion, man. There's so many atheists in ISKCON and all these groups. You're an atheist if you don't like the ecstatic devotion here. You're an atheist if you don't like these conclusive truths that are right there in the book and right there in your experiences here. People listening here have spiritual experiences of communion with God, which is proof. So this is a form of atheism. I don't care how many rules. Jarasandha followed so many rules, and he was worshiping Vishnu even, and he was following Vaidhi Bhakti more strict than any of these ISKCON people. But he didn't like ecstatic Krishna. He didn't like what you're seeing going on here now. Ecstatic Krishna came from Vrindavan, see, in a Vrindavan mood, and he didn't like that. Look at this. He's so easygoing and so free. I don't like this. He should be controlled and subdued, like we do for our little, what do you call them? Minions, or whatever we call these guys, our devotees. See, so anyway, Maya has her devotees. These are her. We're actually teaching people, teaching the world what is to be a devotee of Krishna and Radha, and have them directing our lives. Truly, not just, but actually, feeling their transcendental presence in our life, activating others, bringing them into the fold. So, because get them delivered. What does deliverance mean? What does being saved mean? It means being saved from the world. God so loved the world that he gave his beloved son. That's these people in the real line. That's you. You're saving people by being in the real line, being under the real shelter. Most are under the shelter of the world, all the way into religion, still worldly shelter. People who can't rise to the platform of transcendence. And so that's called religion. And people see Krishna. We live by that verse: abandon all varieties of religion. I don't need religion to purify me. This religion purifies me. Religion of ecstatic communion with God, to play with the Lord, just like Vrindavan is about, hey, playing with the Lord. Hey, I play with the Lord all the time. This is all playing with the Lord. This is Vrindavan revisited, resurrected. You got to see it in a relationship with a devotee, with their relationship with Krishna. Being part of the Vrindavan mood and mentality and bhav. Okay, so you guys are picking it up. It's nice, isn't it? You can see it's better, it's stronger than anything. Better than anything. Go ahead there, read on.
Just to please his dear wife, the Lord brought back the Parijata tree from heaven, just as an ordinary husband would do. But Indra, the king of heaven, inducted by his wives, ran after the Lord with full force to fight him. Purport. The Lord once went to the heavenly planet to present an earring to Aditi, the mother of the demigods, and his wife Satyabhama also went to him. There is a special flowering tree called the Parijata, which grows only in the heavenly planets, and Satyabhama wanted this tree. Just to please his wife, like an ordinary husband, the Lord brought back the tree, and this enraged Vajri, or the controller of the thunderbolt, because he was a hand-packed husband and also a fool. Listened to them and dared to fight with Krishna. He was a fool on this occasion because he forgot that everything belongs to Lord. There was no fault on the part of the Lord, even though he took away the tree from the heavenly kingdom, but because Indra was hand-packed, dominated.
See people become fools because they don't know everything belongs to the Lord, including their own soul. See, this is the problem. See, you become fools because you you just give your power over to the Maya. See, and you become a fool. You see, you don't know. Then you think that you become an owner. It's almost like these they put this in movies, like the devil is always offering you stuff if you serve him. See, oh yeah, you're going to have a great life. You're going to have this. It's going to be fantastic for you and everything. See, but it doesn't turn out that way. See, you become a fool. You become less intelligent. You become what do you call entangled in all these complicated meshes, and you forget into forgetfulness. The only way out, you have to associate with real devotees in the real line and get out of this. You know, you got to be, and then you become free. Okay, go ahead. I hear a lot of paper thing going
Um,
on. Read the verse. Read the next verse.
Narakasura, the son of Dharitri, the earth, tried to grasp the whole sky, and for this he was killed by the Lord in a fight. His
Is that a
mother,
verse? Is that the verse?
its translation, yes.
Okay. Go ahead. Okay.
Narakasura, the son of Dhatriti, the earth, tried to grasp the whole sky, and for this he was killed by the Lord in a fight. His mother then prayed to the Lord. This led to the return of the kingdom to the son of Narakasura, and thus the Lord entered the house of the demon.
See, and this is basically what's going on in the world. The persons are trying to grasp everything. See, they're trying to grab, like they grab all the money. See, they want to grab all the resources. See, for them, so this is the thing. And so the Lord comes and ultimately destroys those who are these grabbers like this. See, so they grab all the resources, and many are grabbed. The compliers, they just, oh yeah, just grab me. They want to surrender to that. You notice the ones you can tell they're ready for the new world order because they're already being ordered here and they're complying with it, and they're going into this thing, and so this is this grabbing thing, trying to grab the world. See, trying to grab all the money and then you want to grab more and everything. And ultimately, the Lord has to rectify it. See, it has to destroy that mentality. Otherwise, who's going to do it? Nobody has the power to do it. That's why
That's
we
what
see, like, you feel like that, right? You can't. What can we do?
That's what
And
I
what?
was saying before with this detachment. When I experience this attachment, or I fall asleep, or I believe in something, or this idea come, this is suddenly enlightenment by him in me.
Mhm.
There is this detachment. It's short suffering or short drama, but it's
Mhm.
like a lessons. It's just
Yeah,
showing, okay, not this
yeah,
way.
yeah, yeah.
Leave it, be free.
Yeah. Yeah. Otherwise, we, so yeah, because the Lord will. take care of it just automatically, because people, their actions, reactions are where everybody is being subject to that. The devotees get free of the actions and reactions of the world, see, because their actions are devotional service. See, this is the action, and the result is devotional service, this exchange with God. See, it's a different level of life. You're even in this world, you're living in transcendence. See, more and more and more, and that's how you transcend it. You don't. You have to do it here. Otherwise you're confused when you when you're identifying yourself as a material object and everything, and then you're freed from the body. What are you going to do? You're going to be confused because you think you're all these coverings, your identification. That's why you come back here. See? But if you're free now, you're free in the subtle relationship with the transcendental Lord. You're free in death. In life and death is the same. You're the same now as you are in this relationship, and you're the same when you pass from this material body. See, you've developed that. The spiritual body is developed. Otherwise, people don't know. It's still covered when they die. The subtle, the material emotional body. You can't see the emotional body, can you? Well, when you pass away, that's still there. The mental body also, and it dissipates though because it's material.
There is the house of the demon. All the princesses kidnapped by Narakasura at once become alert upon seeing the Lord, the friend of the distressed. They looked upon him with eagerness, joy, and shyness, and offered to be his wives.
Yeah, some people look at the Lord and they get very angry. See, when they see the transcendental presence of the Lord, which the real devotees represent in this world, they can become angry or really hateful, or they
Jealous.
can be like, yeah, jealous, or like this, very like loving, and feel like uplifted. See, it's
Want
different.
not to serve.
Yeah, yeah. So the devotees, they come to collect people, and everybody benefits, even the ones who hate the devotees. They benefit too. But the ones that come, like we have our sangha here. The people like this, what this guy is into here. You like this chanting. You like these talks about transcendence, and see. So people are uplifted here. They come here. We become a family. See, like
So
this. Yeah, go ahead. What?
yesterday when I was talking to these people after my yoga sessions, and he was explaining how he found this that God on Tenerife, and how he was talking to him, and how he got place with him, played with him, and then I was listening, and I was like, with those people by conversation, and I was always explaining, okay, but when you call him by his name, this name can do this in your life, this name can purify, this name, this protection. Then they were saying, like he was saying to me, that he understands, but he feels like he's on his way, and he's on his way, but he refused to call him from this way, from his name. It didn't resonate. He didn't hear
Yeah,
this
yeah,
before.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
said to him, you know what? It's completely okay. Just because you hear now and you heard before, this is enough. I don't have to worry. I don't have to control. I don't have to convince you. I don't have to do anything, My God will do. Just because you listen to him about him, it means that he wants you. So it's everything okay. And
Yeah.
just watch how will your life develop, and how Krishna enters the life, because he's doing this in very mysterious way. And yeah.
Yeah, that's how it is. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Although princesses were, oh my God, this is so hard vocabulary. All those princesses were lodged in different apartments, and the Lord simultaneously assumed different bodily expansions, exactly matching each and every princess. He accepted their hands in perfect rituals by his internal potency. So maybe I will read also the purport.
Yeah.
In the Brahma Samhita, the Lord is described as follows in regard to his innumerable plenary expansions. The Lord Govinda, whom I worship, is the original personality of Godhead. He is non-different from his innumerable plenary expansions, who are all infallible, original and unlimited, and who have eternal forms. Although he's primeval, the oldest personality, he's always fresh and young. But by his internal potency, the Lord can expand himself into various personality of Svayam Prakasha, and again into Prabhava and Vaibhava forms, and all of them are non-different from one another. The forms into which the Lord expanded to marry the princesses in different apartments were all slightly different, just to match each and every one of them. They are called Vaibhava Vilasa forms of the
Mhm.
Lord and are affected by his internal potency Yoga Maya. End
Yeah,
of
that's it.
quote.
That's interesting, isn't it? That shows
It's
you, like
beautiful.
you were talking about your personal relationship is different.
Mm,
It's he adjusts himself to the devotee, and but
yes.
it's the same family, but it's just very unique and different. See, this is called spiritual variety. This is what people don't understand. All the way up into the Brahman level too, they think it's about giving that up, that variety thing. Oh no, because look at how much problems the variety has given us in the world. We're become attached to this object and that object and become, miserable and all. So the idea is to go and give up all objects, and that's enlightenment. No, it's to develop this spiritual object relationship. See? And then that is eternal. Then we can be ourselves. See, people are trying to be themselves, and it doesn't work anyway. Never will work if you're trying to do it materially. You got to be yourself spiritually, ultimately. See, that happens by a natural relationship developing with the spiritual object, God, Krishna, or whatever your Ram, whatever your God is. If he's transcendental, it'll be spiritual development and the variety, and you'll be different and unique. See, people even they think it's about being like Prabhupada. They got to talk like you see some of these gurus. They want to look like. There's this one guy that's trying to look like Gorkishore Das Babaji because he's a renunciate type, and he even goes into the has pictures taken of him looking like this.
I saw
Just
this
like
phenomena, yes.
yeah, and or they try to talk like Prabhupada, like
Yes,
rah
I saw
rah
this
rah rah.
also.
Yeah, yeah, of course, that's what they do. It's called imitation. They don't understand that the devotees. That's why they miss him. That's why they say he's not like Prabhupada. Go hard. Who is he, man? He's not like Prabhupada. He's not imitating Prabhupada. Why is he?
What the heck?
You know. Yeah, but Prabhupada was different than Bhakti Siddhanta, and Bhakti Siddhanta was different than his father. You know.
But what it shows that they don't have this understanding and this experience, because when you experience God and your true self, you know
Yeah.
exactly how individual you are, how individual is this relationships. You cannot be
Yeah.
fake or imitate anybody. You won't just be free for
Yeah.
any price, it's the best, the
Yeah.
highest currency and value. You cannot give it or imitate. So when they behave like this, it just means that they
Yeah.
don't know, they
They
don't
don't know.
experience.
Yeah. Yeah, and so the remedy is again sadhu sangha, like your friend. What he'll eventually come to understand, it's about having a family of liberated souls. not just him alone. This is what some people like Mina. She made the mistake. Oh, let me just leave this liberated family and go out on my own. It's just this is a Mayavadi thing, and then you never have any deep relationships because that's kind of see the depth comes from the purification here. See, so a lot of people I've noticed, especially ISKCON connected devotees that are, Prabhupada disciples, they can't go through. They can go to a certain point with, and once it gets into this deep purification, they want to go back into the superficial level. Just give me the rules and the austerities and all that. They can do that, but to get purified of all this stuff, false identifications with the false ego
But it's also in religion and also in material world, those all rules and regulation and this being it causes panic in people when they lose it. They don't know
Yeah,
how to
yeah.
be navigate, how to be governed
Well, they got to learn that. They got to learn that by associating and
without
hearing from devotees.
this.
Yeah. So we're giving an opportunity for people to get that. Otherwise, how are they going to get this on their own? It's just this is like almost like it's like like a ship that has the what they call light drive. They can it's kind of that kind of thing. You have to be able to jump. Uh, they actually have some good analogies. I won't use them because people probably haven't seen them in the movies. Well, they have this one. It's an organic drive that works on with what do you call virus? Not viruses, but um, kind of mushrooms. Mushroom type things or something. And it's funny they use the mushrooms, and it can jump into different realities and universes and everything. That's
How
basically
calls
what
this
you come
movie?
into associate.
How calls this movie?
It's called Star Trek Discovery. It's the latest
Okay.
one. Yeah, Star Trek Discovery, and that's basically it. Is you have to jump into a sadhu sangha, and you jump into a whole level of reality of truth, but it's true, and otherwise you can't. You have to go in the door to get it. This is the door. Is this kind of sadhu sangha? That's why after Jesus they started churches because he had his own church. He was there with his disciples. See, that becomes the church. He's like the minister, and they're part of the congregation, and so that started after. So this is why it's got to be done here also. If any group that wants to learn what we learn, they have to come here to do it. And because I look around, I look at, well, hey man, I look in the Gaudius media. Hey, you guys could. There's some room for improvement. Yeah, you're not understanding things as clear as you could. You know, they're not what I've seen. They're still encased in the false ego layer, and that same with the other groups. They need to get out of that. They need to be broken through that, and they need shiksha to do it, and
Can I
so that
ask you
they.
something?
Yeah, go ahead.
You're saying that they need to understand, to see, to realize, and so on. So my question is, when they are on this level, on this ego level, and when
Hmm.
they don't have these informations and
Right.
this potency which can works in them, because you are very often. I'm not correcting you. I'm really curious. Okay,
Just
because
spit it out.
okay, I will
Spit it out.
just okay,
Spit it out.
because you run your lectures through this comparison. Okay, they don't have this, they are not like this, and so on and so on. So when ego hears something like this, the people
Hmm.
are offended and they don't even look here. Yes. But
Hmm.
when you, for example, read about Krishna and explain, I mean, nobody explains like you this
Hmm.
potency.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
make this in small part. You are
Hmm.
coming deeper and explaining from every side, and this is like, just this makes like difference, you know, it transforms.
Yeah.
So I'm always I'm thinking, you know, what is more attracted for those people who need this, you know,
Oh yeah,
because when they hear you are not like this, you are not advanced, you are bullshitters, you are covered, they don't want, you know, to hear this. Of course, it destroys your illusion and it transforms you and triggers you, but they don't want this, you know. So maybe they just skip it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Right now, it's not like they're right here. Like I'm talking to somebody. This is just general ideas, general understanding for people here mainly. And you know, I don't know. I just it's part of my character to do what I do. And I'll either adjust it or not adjust it. I don't know, man.
Good. I got my answer.
Let's see what happens. The Lord, was in that mood too. I mean, he would be blasting away at something. Oh, there's this guy, Prakrushananda. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and then later on, he became, he just would just relish mellows mostly.
Because I'm just asking because I also talk to people and I experience this and I see, okay, I must find a way I must find a way, because when I will be repeating.
Well, you will find a way. You're breaking up a little bit.
Listen to me. So
I don't know. You're kind of. You know what you need to do is you probably need to.
we are ending. Can you hear me? Because
No.
me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Can you
You
hear
know
me?
what? I think you have to go off and on again because of the bandwidth. Just go off and come back on.
And now?
Oh, now it's okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I just wanted to tell you. That I end up with those people, and they are saying to me, "Yes, okay, but everybody has his way, which leads to the same point, and so on.
Yeah.
And I like those stuff, and you like those stuff." And I say, "Yes, you are completely right, but you cannot call something material this potency because it's just his external potency, and this is everything is material and temporal. And I'm not saying you don't get your benefits or lessons or you not feel ecstatic, but it's material. Let's us name it like it is, because it's temporal, so you cannot call it spiritual eternity because it's not. It's a fake word. So
Do they listen? Are they listening, or they think they still know? That this is.
these people who I mean, they are listening. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. Explain it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's they need to hear that. Yeah, all paths lead in this. Well, they think all paths lead to the same place, but they may. But you got to look at what is the duration of the different paths. How long do they take? How long do you want to take? You want to get it in this life? Well, it's a good possibility you get it here. Or do you want many lifetimes? Well, it's good. You go to religion, or some other path. Go to Buddhism. Many lifetimes. They even tell you that. It's so funny, You go to Buddhism, they'll tell you, "Oh, you want to be enlightened? It takes 100 births."
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Oh, you want prema? So in the religion, in our religion, Vaishnavism, oh, you want prema? Oh, many lifetimes. See, same preaching. Yeah. See, but the real saviors, when they're saving, they're here on the planet. The real saviors, not these ones who are like it's kind of a hypocritical thing. Oh yeah, we'll save you, but it'll take many lifetimes. But just worship me like God, and I'll be your guru, and you go pray to me. Oh, Guru Dev, deliver me. But it'll be many lives. Or they say, yeah, you'll deliver, but you won't feel it. You won't feel ecstatic deliverance. You won't even know what it is. So I forgot my point. Whatever it was. Yeah. Yeah. So what I wanted to say too, Shamasundari, is yeah, you're whatever I do what I do, and you'll do what you do. You know, you'll get ideas of what to do and what not to do because the way I deal with people, like here, or dealing with my preaching, you, you know, it probably won't do it like I do it. You know, you probably won't preach like me. The Lord will inspire you in the moment. You know, I preach like I preach. You know, and you'll preach like you preach, and you know, learn from things. And you're dealing more personally sometimes with personal people. I would probably, you know, if I had a guru sitting in front of me, I'd probably deal completely differently with them than you would think. You think I'd be, I wouldn't be like that at all. I'm almost guarantee you, it would be like that. And Prabhupada was like that. He would be really, and then he would deal personally with people in the same Maya he was blasting. It was completely different, completely, you know, kind and, you know, sensitive and all. Yeah, we just got to get somebody up here, you know, get some of these guys coming. We want to need a little drama here, man. Get some. Let's see what Krishna arranges. Yeah. Go ahead, read on.
Just to expand himself according to his transcendental features, the Lord begot in each and every one of them 10 offsprings with exactly his own qualities. Kala Yavana,
Read that again. Read that again.
just to expand himself according to his transcendental features, the Lord begot in each and every one of them 10 offsprings with exactly his own qualities.
Yeah, and that see, he expand his transcendental features. Some devotees will have different features, but they're all his qualities. See, this is what surrender is. Even in the world, people are just manifesting qualities of material natures. They think they want to own them and all that, but no, they're just the qualities of material nature. If they're scumbags, you know, hypocrites, liars, cheaters, this is the quality material. They're just channeling that. See, they think they want to own it. They're responsible, you see, and all that. But it's the modes of nature that they're kind of like conduits for. And it's the same thing when we realize the transcendental Lord through surrendering to his transcendental potency. Then his feature comes through you. One of his features, or some of his features, or many of his features. Well, you know, but they're all his features. That's how we know the qualities of God are through his devotees. If you see Haridas, he's bringing forth features of the Lord because of his surrender and meditation and advancement in devotional service. This is how the Lord is brought to the world. And this is how the world is saved, by the transcendental features of the Lord coming through his devotees. Otherwise, and they're all part of the transcendental potency. You know, see, that's why you see the Lord has many features. He may use that Nishingade feature through somebody. It kind of comes here, you know, the sheep, smack it around, you know. Maybe not. Maybe he'll use the soft approach, you know. The Lord, you know, just has different features. They're all part of the spiritual potency. It's all part of it. And actually, one of the features of the Lord is strong chastisement sometimes, which ends up, whoever he chastises usually becomes pure devotee. This kind of heavy thing, the result is people become, it quickens their spiritual development. And he showed that. Jesus showed that. All devotees show that feature sometimes. seems like offensive. It is. It takes down the fences. It's an offensive. People think. See, when to do with the transcendental features of the Lord, this offensive thing means going on offensive. See, so it's like it's a forcible attack on illusion. See, it's going on the offense instead of the defense or being passive. See, going on the offense, they think, "Oh, you offended me, or you attacked me." See, on the offense, but that's good. See, it's all transcendental, and it's to do with devotee, the Lord's qualities coming.
Freddy asked, would Krishna call a devotee who is Brahman or Paramatma realized as a scumbag? Scumbag? Bag?
Maybe, could be, yeah. Especially if they're preaching against the form of the Lord. The Lord did. He called that Prakrishananda a scumbag. He was, he was, yeah.
I just translated what scumbag means.
Scumbag is scum, yeah.
Freddy.
He's funny. Yeah, why not? If he's like Prakrishananda, which many are, they're scumbags. So what's wrong with the scumbag? Why have respect for scumbags? And actually, it's just a neutral thing. It's just it's just part of the modes of nature, Yeah, you're blaming. Doesn't matter. Okay, go ahead.
Kalayavana, the king of Magadha and Shalva, attacked the city of Mathura, but when the city was encircled by their soldiers, the Lord refrained from killing them personally just to show the power of his own men. Of kings like Shambhara, Dvivida, Bana, Mura, Balvala, and many other demons, such as Dantavakhra, some he killed himself, and some he caused to be killed by others, Sri Baladeva. Then,
you see, these kings are all over the place. These are the controllers now of the world. The kings now are demoniac, more or less. They got a demoniac. So they're king. You notice they're kings. They're in control. They control of the masses, and they're in positions. See, so this was happening with Krishna. This happens. This is the authorities when they become demoniac. That's when the action begins. The Lord's pastimes really start to take shape. So these guys come out, and the Lord comes and subdues them. Some he does personally, like he does from within. He'll just stop their hearts. He's the real controller, and others he'll kill by knowledge, by information that actually can satisfy everybody. Could you imagine if these guys that were in the Illuminati and the Bill Gates and all this stuff, if they had this knowledge, it is greater than anything they can amass in their worship of the dark Lucifers. This is all hidden. This is the kind of knowledge they keep secret. They have knowledge not like this, but of the dark variety, and this is so much more complete and satisfying to everybody. This is why another reason why we don't get censored, because Christians get censored, but we really don't, because this, believe it or not, doesn't cause so much reaction, because I don't hate any of these people. I don't hate demons. I don't hate demigods or hate, and it's this hate is purified out of heart from this kind of worship. See, so therefore it doesn't cause a reaction, even in the preaching. Even Christians, their heart still has some demigod like hate stuff, and they hate this that's going on. They hate this happening. They want to do something about it. See, they want to control the situation. They want to bring it under the higher control. So this is, but this is really the way to do the higher control thing. Is to have our little discussions here, and pass the videos around, and let people get this information and knowledge and see this, how we are in this world, how we worship the Lord. The role model, basically. Okay, go ahead there, Rita.
Then, O Vidura, the Lord caused all the kings, both the enemies and those on the side of your fighting nephews, to be killed in the battle of Kurukshetra. All those kings were so great and strong that the earth seemed to shake as they traversed the warfield. Duryodhana was bereft of his fortune and duration of life because of the intricacy of ill advice given by Karna, Dushasana, and Saubala. When
Yeah,
he
you
lay on
see,
the
see,
ground,
see the ill advice given by demons. See, people become killed by this because you believe in ill advice from people that are under the modes of nature. That's why ultimately your best friend are those who are surrendered to the transcendental potency. See, because you get better advice. You know that there's a Psalms verse, a beautiful one I really like. Blessed are those who don't sit in the counsel of the wicked. See, but most people do in the world. They're the compliers in the world. They're sitting in the council. See, they're taking counsel from wicked people, and they don't know it because the wicked people are pretending to be good. See, that's hypocrisy, and people believe it. See? So they're sitting in the council. They're taking their counsel from the wicked and being destroyed. When you wear masks, this is practical. Uh, when you wear masks, it inhibits your breathing, and you're breathing your own carbon dioxide. Uh, Viruses are growing inside your thing. All kinds of weird things are happening by that. You're also becoming like psychologically tortured and submissive to something that's a very bad thing. You see, but people believe it. Why? Because they're in the council of Fauci, who's given ill advice, and hypocritically too. See, so and the same thing with this. You're sitting in the council of ill advisors, and they're acting like good advisors. See, that's Maya. That's illusion. You think the Lord wants us to be under that, subjected to that? No, that's why He comes here to liberate us through Himself and through His devotees, so that we're not sitting in the council of wicked people. Look, we're in the council of the Vedas. We're sitting here in the council. This is a council meeting. People need to have council. This is Sadhu Sangha, is a council meeting. We get things done here. We sit here in the council of transcendental acharyas that have written these books. We're in the council of the Lord Himself, chanting His names and His pastimes and these books. You see, that's why the result is different here. This is what people need to know. Look at the result of this being in this kind of council, and being counseled by the Vedas, and being counseled by our realization of them, being counseled by the holy name, by chanting and communing with the Lord. See, and getting His counsel by the revelations that we get. See, this is why the devotees are smart. We are in divine counsel. That's why the devotees are logical. They have these deep discussions with liberated souls.
When he lay on the ground with
Yeah,
his follow.
you didn't listen to anything I said because you're typing and you're looking around and all that stuff. See, so you didn't hear anything. It's not about multitasking and stuff or looking at other, trying to get ahead of the thing. If you stay in the moment, you really get the benefit, and that goes for everybody. Everybody. If you don't be looking around so much, and when you chant, just really chant. And when you're hearing here, if I'm saying something, because I'm sitting here and listening too, because a lot of good stuff is just being downloaded in the moment. But if you're out there looking at this and typing this and that, you'll miss. And that, as I say, it's not only for you, but for everybody. If you want to get the most of these things, the Lord works in the moment. This is called transcendental being in the moment. See, being in the moment on this transcendental way, and you'll catch a lot. Yeah. Go ahead there, read on. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think of that? I just said. Yeah, okay, good.
When he lay on the ground with his followers, his tides broken, although he was powerful, the Lord was not happy to see the scene. After the end of the battle of Kurukshetra, the Lord said, "The abatement of the earth's great burden, 18 Aksuahinis, has now been effected with the help of Drona, Bhishma, Arjuna, and Bhima. But what is this? There is still the great strength of the Yadu dynasty, born of myself, which may be a more unbearable burden."
So, what is the meaning of what you just read? What meaning do you see? See, this is why you got to stay in the moment, because no people read and they don't understand. They think it's just about reading and getting to the next verse, but they don't get it. You know, it's not. This is why you got to. The devotees, the more you purify, you get the revelation, so, and of these verses, and that's what you got to, what you end up catching. And that's what you get from hearing from a guru. You're going to catch the revelations. You're going to go deep in the verse. Otherwise, you don't really understand. Most people don't understand. Or you may understand, and you get different angles. When you really, everybody advances, you might hear something, and I might hear something. It's a different angle of transcendental vision. It's like it's like what is the purport of that verse of when so one thing that shines when you said that, if, to me personally, is the Lord's thinking is different than ours. People think differently than that. This is why they can't understand the Lord. They think materially, sentimentally. And the Lord is thinking, hey man, there's a huge burden on this earth. We got to get rid of it. See? And so I'm going to use these persons to do it. See, it's his work. It's his show, man. People don't think no, it's the Lord's show. He knows what's good for the world and what's not. And he's using these wars and what's going on now to relieve the burden of the earth. People don't know that. People think it's something different. They think they got to do something. But the Lord is doing something. He may be using you to do it. I mean, it's a big plan, you know. But the Lord's thinking is different from most people. But the way we get insight in that is by hearing these pastimes, especially from those who've realized them, you know, and or are realizing them. Like for me, I'm always realizing more and more. I mean, it never stops. You just have to, put it in tune and purify it, and then you can get it. So go ahead there, read on. So if you, that's why I stop you sometimes, because it's something.
Are we back?
Oh yeah, we're back.
Okay. When they quarrel among themselves, influenced by intoxication, which with their eyes red like copper because of drinking madhu, then only will they disappear, otherwise it will not be possible. On my disappearance, this incident will take place. Lord Shri Krishna, thus thinking to himself, established Maharaja Yudhishthira in the position of supreme control of the world in order to show the ideal of administration on the path of piety. The embryo of Purush descendant, begotten by the great hero Abhimanyu in the womb of Uttara, his wife, was burned by the weapon of the son of Drona, but later he was again protected by the Lord. The Supreme Lord inducted the son of Dharma to perform 3 horse sacrifices, and Maharaja Yudhishthira, constantly following Krishna, the personality of Godhead, protected and enjoyed the earth, assisted by his younger brothers. Simultaneously, the personality of Godhead enjoyed life in the city of Dvaraka, strictly in conformity with the Vedic customs of society. He was situated in detachment and knowledge as enunciated by the Sankhya system of philosophy. He was there in his transcendental body, the resistance of the goddess of fortune, with his usual gentle and sweetly smiling face, his nectarian words, and his flavorless character. I will read the purport. In the previous verse, it is described that Lord Krishna, being situated in the truths of Sankhya philosophy, is detached from all kinds of matter. In the present verse, it is described that he is the residence of the goddess of fortune. These two things are not at all contradictory. Lord Krishna is detached from the variegatedness of the inferior nature, but he's in eternal, blissful enjoyment of the spiritual nature or his eternal potency.
Yeah, you see, this is how we become detached. We need to become attached to the spiritual nature of the Lord. See? And then we just naturally become detached more and more from the world. That's because it's our nature to become attached. This is how we get life, whether it's material or spiritual. This is why sadhu sangha, why we need the association of devotees in touch with the spiritual nature. I mean, people who leave here, it's so silly. It's really, ridiculous. You leave here and then you go and then you're trying to attach yourself to the Lord by austerity. Here, it's just a natural thing. You just come here and just you hear from devotees. You talk about the Lord. You hear devotees sharing their revelation and realization. You chant with devotees who have ecstatic communion with God. You're guaranteed to be a winner. There's no other way to win this game of your soul quicker than this kind of association, this kind of situation. Yeah. Otherwise, everybody's trying the harder paths and more difficult. Yeah. Hey, I think I'm going to stop now for a while because I need to take a little rest here. I got up a little early, as usual. And, yeah. Hey, thank you for reading there. It was great. There. Great job there, Summerson guy. Enjoying the
Thank you for
harmony.
your wisdom. Yes. Today, actually, I have first day when I'm going to learn some new accords and to devote some time. I was working busy till yesterday, every day. But it's okay.
Yeah, great.
Thank you for your wisdom and for explaining those things, those matter.
You're welcome. Thank you. Yeah. I enjoyed it myself. I'll see you guys later. Hare Krishna, everybody. Take a little nap and I'll be back.
Hare Krishna.
Maybe somebody wants to go live. I don't know. How do you move? In the stream.